Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Shonen and Chill, hosted by Zenrotto and Oceans.
Hello, hello, folks.
And we are here. This is an interesting week. We are finally saying goodbye. Is this the first time we've said goodbye to a series ending properly on the show?
I think so,
Or
actually.
Chainsaw Man?
Oh, yeah, of course. We
But
barely managed to squeeze in Chainsaw
yeah,
Man.
but for not one for a long time because I think Chainsaw Man was only we had only done a few episodes by the time that ended up ending. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so that'll be interesting to talk about
Mm-hmm.
that. I've seen a lot of strong feelings on both sides of the fence on that, so that'll be interesting to see how
I
that goes.
I only have one feeling about that, and we'll get to that, but that feeling is mostly confusion.
Okay, yeah, same. Uh, so I guess we'll go ahead and jump into top threes because there is some stuff to chat about, but it's probably best left to the segments of the individual series themselves.
Mm-hmm. So I guess I start. My top three is number 3 is My Academia, number 2 is Earthchild, and number 1 is Jujutsu Kaisen.
Nice, my top three are exactly the same. So we have
Oh,
absolutely the rare opportunity.
that that glass fiber
Oh,
connection
it never
across the
happens
ocean.
anymore, but nice.
We were in sync this week. Let's go.
All right.
Um, right. So where do we start?
We start with Protect Me, Shugomaru. What a place to begin.
Jesus Christ. I think I've said this before, but I'm gonna say it again. This really is throw anything at the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah,
The
it
series.
almost feels like it doesn't even have a consistent humor style.
Yeah, like this was just references.
Like, dude, I don't know. The only thing that made me funny was they said that it was rude to pick a paid DLC character in Smash Bros. Because if your friend is poor, you'll be reminding them that they're poor.
Yes, that was pretty.
That was funny as hell, actually. But
Yeah, I mean, I did appreciate the little bit in Smash because obviously I'm a Donkey Kong main, so I did appreciate the representation.
does it
But aside
remind
from
you of that Hunter character?
no, because I try my hardest to never think of Hunter x Hunter.
Oh
I
no, I
will
lied.
say,
Two things made me laugh when he used PK Fire over and over again, and the guy punished him for it and said that that's extremely rude, and the and Sanagi actually agreed.
actually, PK Thunder is how I play that character over and
Well, he
over.
does that too, and he gets yelled
Yeah.
at for that too.
Um, Also, another gag that actually made me laugh is when they're like, "Indeed, let us fight." Page turn, they're all on the floor dead.
Yeah, they're all just done.
I thought that was kind of funny,
Also,
but
is his weapon a piece of his hair?
yes, he has like the pain rods, but they come out of his head instead of like out
Jesus.
of his arms. But yeah, wow, this really is random shit. The
Yeah,
series.
it's just like referential humor, which is fine sometimes, but like, because like those things were funny, but also like I just don't fucking. And then they kind
Well,
of had like the sibling reference that
mhm,
like, oh look at these characters. So I don't know, are we supposed to meet them at some point? Is this like gonna like a mash thing where he's gonna have to
mhm.
fight his siblings over and over? I don't know.
Yeah, like I don't know, it's weird because it feels like there's some good stuff here, but it's so chaotic to the point where I don't even know where to begin really, like what to think. Because by the time I've understood what's happening, we're already in a completely different universe of comedy,
Yeah,
right? And I think it also hurts the series that it has like no clear idea of what it wants to do. Because it feels like the whole thing with like, oh, we have to protect this girl is not even really all that relevant. It's just, hey, here are 7 wacky character designs I came up with this week. Uh, and here's all of them like referencing Yu-Gi-Oh. You know?
yeah, like the original joke, which to be fair, I never found all that funny, was like him protecting her shittily and like
Mm-hmm.
breaking things or accidentally hurting her. But I guess
Mm-hmm.
that everyone found that not that funny because that seems to have been largely abandoned.
Yeah, I mean, it hit like the first 2 or so chapters, but it got stale fairly quickly.
And so it's
Um,
just like whatever he can try at any time. I don't know. I don't know.
yeah, I mean, realistically, if Protect Me Shugomaru is like absolute garbage for the next 70 chapters, but then in the final chapter, they defeat the main villain by summoning slash Takizawa, it'll end as a 10 out of 10. So I suppose whatever I say now isn't all that important.
Yeah, the fact that he wasn't in this chapter is another reason this chapter. Oh no, he was in this chapter.
Was he? Where?
He's in the pile of dead people on page 15.
He is?
Yeah.
No way. Why is he there? What's he doing? No, my poor son. He's decapitated as well.
Never mind. This chapter is actually great.
Yeah, no, this was actually the best chapter this
Mhm.
week. Fuck off, Jujutsu Kaisen. I give Shugomaru better than Jujutsu Kaisen out of 10 this week. That's a rating it's never gonna get again.
No. God.
The
No.
the illustrious better than Jujutsu Kaisen rating, and the only series that will ever get it from us is Protect Me,
Protect me,
Shugomaru.
Oh Jesus.
All right, do we move on?
Yeah, I'm already over it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like this is
Yeah,
a fucking nothing series.
It's complete fluff. Next
Yeah.
up is Ayashimon.
Did you hear that it's apparently in danger?
I'm not overly surprised. I feel like we've talked about that a few times, but
Well, I just last week-ish, sort of on Thursday, I started seeing people essentially, starting the funeral process
mm,
because apparently it's been ranking really low. The first volume has sold really badly, and it doesn't seem to be connecting with the audiences over in Japan. So, yeah, no, don't know if we can consider it for much longer, which is a
yeah.
shame because I think
I do
actually this
like it. I
chapter is
thought this
cool.
chapter this week was actually pretty neat. Yeah, but
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of just a lot of like fighting, which is fine. It's pretty
I
cool.
mean
I
that's all it
really
ever
like that
really is,
page.
but at least it's cool fighting. I really like page 12.
Yeah, right. So cool. Such a cool like it looks so like comic-y in a way with like the full blacks.
Mhm.
Super nice. Um Also I like that we don't get a resolution to Maruo just being in the middle of the air. We just cut away back to the other guy.
Yeah. I, I like one of my favorite lines in everything this whole week is when he says, "And my kick, it's just normal." He like explains his powers.
It's
My kick, it's just irregular.
I just kick good. Yeah. Also, his fucking spin power is pretty funny as well.
Yeah, it is. And I like when little like coward characters have their moment of like I have to step up now. So that was cool. That was neat.
Yeah, he's like almost making like the Ichigo like half mask there at the
Yeah,
end.
I guess that's because isn't his normal form just like a round head
I don't know.
with like a smiley face on it?
I do not remember. You're asking me to access brain capacities that I do not have. I've been playing Elden Ring for like a week straight. I have lost all my higher
Well,
cognitive
his normal
functions.
form is like apparently it's like a dark head with like big eyes. It's like a
Oh,
nondescript face.
that does sound familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah. So I guess
Um,
that's what he's gonna do is like go demon mode or whatever. Um,
go sicko mode.
I thought he was gonna do something like when he was making his head spin. When his
Mm-hmm.
head was upside down, it would count the floor as a ceiling, which is his only power, and then he'd be able
Oh,
to fight. But they didn't end up doing that.
well, they might still do it, I guess.
True, he has to actually do something. He hasn't actually done anything yet.
Yeah, because I mean, this fight isn't over yet, which kind of also makes me worried about the series because having long fights in like the first 10 or so chapters, I don't know, it always feels like a risky gamble because if you think about
Yeah.
like the like entrance exam in Red Hood, right? Like that, I'm almost certain that that pretty much killed Red Hood. That exam arc that they did right at the start with like the
Oh, I agree
massive.
completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that arc sucked.
Well, not it didn't just suck. It was well, it wasn't even overly long. It just felt like you were gonna be stuck there with no end in sight because there was no clear like idea of okay, when is this actually gonna end? And doing that early on in a series seems to be something that doesn't resonate with audiences these days. Because I feel like it used to be more the play to do that, right? Like if you think of like the Bell exam in Naruto or like in One Piece with what is it? Fucking the first saga where is it East Blue? I think it's East Blue.
Hmm.
Where like it is back then you could be fairly exhaustive in like how long you spend on a single event, but I feel like nowadays the series that stick around are the ones that, you know, are fairly fast in the beginning and then only slow down once they're safe, which is
Yeah, which kind of is sad a little bit, but
a you know, I
because
will play
Bleach
my
was very
old
similar to that too, where it was really just he would just fought whatever monster was attacking the town for the week.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
it wasn't until Soul Society where we really started getting like, well, that's not entirely true, because we got like some Quincy backstory and like about his mom and stuff, but we didn't
Mhm.
really start getting into like anything beyond, uh-oh, a monster appeared, I'm gonna go kill it, until like Soul
Mhm.
Society, really.
Yeah. Which I don't know, maybe that's also no, honestly, I think it might be also that it might be that manga, like, because we're trying to compare manga across like decades, right? It might just be that that's too wide of a net to do. Because I was trying to think of
Yeah,
like
20 years is
Naruto.
a little bit difficult to.
Yeah, because I was trying to think of like Naruto and like, because I was gonna say that oh maybe it's a bad idea to have like a whole bunch of world building in your first like 5 chapters or so, or just word vomit exposition. But then I think of Naruto where like chapter 6 is like oh so here's how ninja capitalism works.
I feel like My Hero
Um,
had a lot of exposition early on too.
I feel like it had one big dump right in the first chapter when a lot of people are still like interested by default. Let me check. Actually, I can.
I feel
This
like
app
up
is so
until
fun.
he actually got into UA, it was like just a constant barrage.
Yeah, kind of, but actually, well, you get a lot right at the start when he's like, "Oh yeah, so quirks appeared." But after
Right.
that, it's actually fairly smooth sailing until right before he gets to UA, where he has to like, "Oh, there are school systems, and Endeavor went to this school, and he was good, and best genius just won the best genius award 9 times in a row. Isn't he cool?" Um, but yeah, no, there. I'm sure, like, if you were someone who had like much wider knowledge of like the various titles that have come up in Shonen Jump, you could probably formulate some sort of a winning formula
Right.
across like time. But I don't know. Ayashimon definitely to me feels like a series that might be in danger, just
Yeah.
because it's spending a lot of time on stuff.
Yeah. I mean, if people aren't buying, I mean, that's probably why that, you know, series that seem to live nowadays go crazy fast until they know they're okay. Is because if
Hmm.
people aren't buying what you're selling, like they're not picking up what you're putting down, and it's long, drawn out stuff, they're never gonna suddenly be okay, like interested in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Actually, this brings me to an interesting thing I saw a couple of weeks ago, which was the number of canceled Jump series per year since 1989. And it's interesting because the average has actually stayed consistent.
really,
Yeah, Jump cancels an average of 6 series per year.
huh?
Yep.
Wild.
Yeah, and cancellations, I think, in that graph were defined as series that ended with fewer than 50 chapters.
Okay.
Which, I mean, I guess you could contest that definition, but I feel like, especially sort of for the modern standard, that is a good baseline.
50 almost feels really, really high for the modern standard,
Yeah.
where it's
Right.
closer to 12 or 14 these days.
Yeah, but no, it was just interesting to see that apparently, because I know there's like this common wisdom that ever since Naruto ended in 2014, and ever since the the head guy, the head editor of Jump changed, that since then cancellations have been more common, but doesn't seem to be supported by the data, at least not the one that I've seen. But obviously, this is not me doing heavy research. This is me lazily looking
Right.
at Twitter and
Well,
Reddit,
okay,
right?
so we've been doing this show for a little over a year.
Mm-hmm.
We'll say close to a year and a half. It'll be a year and a half in what, April?
Yeah, I think so.
So how many series have been canceled since we started?
Well, let's see. We've definitely had because we also need to differentiate between series that have been canceled that we cared about and series that have been canceled that we just kind of forgot about. So um we got Red Hood, we got Phantom Seer, we got Ghost Rider,
Right.
right?
Naru. That
Naru.
one got shot.
Wasn't there like a Dragons Parade one that was running while
Nine
we were?
Dragons. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're looking at 5 already.
Yeah, so that's
Um,
fine. I'm gonna pull the app up and scroll back. Okay, so Magu-chan, it never got agreed upon if that
mhm.
got canceled or not.
Yeah, I'm not gonna count that because
Okay.
that was also like
Candy
70
Flurry
chapters.
definitely did.
Candy Flurry, that's 6. Yeah, we're at our 6, our yearly
I
average.
Tell C.
Mhm.
Hard Boiled Cop and Dolphin.
Oof, we're at 8.
A Gravity Boys technically hit 51 chapters. But
Yeah,
I do
okay, but
believe that it was referred to as a cancellation online.
all right, then
Um,
9,
so I'm gonna tentatively say A Gravity Boys counts. Build King.
10.
Mori King.
Did Morgan get canceled?
It's 35 chapters. I don't know if it got canceled explicitly, but it's only 35 chapters long. So,
Okay, so let's say 11 then.
Our Blood Oath.
12,
Um, Mitama Security.
13,
Bone Collection.
14.
Guardian of the Witch.
Oof, yes, 15,
Zip Man.
16,
Samurai 8.
17.
Yeah.
Not unhappy about that one.
And then the next one up is Tokyo Shinobi Squad, which was before we started doing the show.
Yeah.
So
So we're looking at 16 over the last 1.5 years. So let's reduce that by about a third. So let's say 11. Well, that's fair, a lot higher actually
yeah,
than that
that's almost
average.
1.5 times higher. Actually, it's even more than that.
Yeah.
It's almost double the yearly
Damn.
average.
Well, I don't know. In that case, maybe either that graph was nonsense,
Well, it's
or this was
possible
just a
that maybe
terrible
like,
year.
yeah, it was just like a heavy year, or
Yeah, because
like the previous year was a lot, not very much, so the average still averaged out.
yeah, right, because it was an average, if I remember correctly, not a median.
Right.
Right, kids, whenever you do statistics, always use medians, not averages. Well, no, actually, my statistics teacher would kill me if I said that. Sometimes averages are good, but medians are better. And don't get me started on modes, modules, whatever they're called in English. They're annoying. I don't like them. I didn't like statistics. I failed my statistics module twice. Maybe this is why. We were talking
It's
about
all
Ayashimon.
it's all we're learning deep secrets here now.
Yes. I spent one of my 2 hour of my statistics lessons just drawing the teacher because I was so fucking bored. I hate math so much.
Yeah, I don't like math either.
Hey, wait, aren't you in IT?
I'm a corporate trainer now.
Oh, how did you do IT while hating math?
I How much math do you think that IT does, bro? You just like take parts out of the computer and clip them back in.
Oh, so you were like a hardware guy.
Yeah,
Oh, you
I wasn't
weren't
like
like.
coding.
Oh, well, okay, yeah.
No,
I
I
don't know.
was
You
like
gotta.
break fix.
You didn't have to like count your fans in the
No,
PC.
nope. Didn't have to count the RAM or nothing. I just clicked it right in there.
You didn't count anything. You just the guy's like, yeah. So the fans are a bit loud. And you're like, I got this, and you built like 17 extra fans into it. It's
Yeah,
like,
well, because then no individual fan is that loud. They're all
yeah,
loud together.
it's like, yeah, I think this
It's
is
like
pretty
the
good.
jet engine starting. Yeah.
It's like my PC has been going a bit slow. And you're like, I got this, and you built like 7 additional GPUs into it. Just crammed a PC.
It's
It's
just a
like
giant bloated laptop.
it's just an amalgamation of tech pieces. It's like one of these has gotta work. That's how I felt while making my PC. I have no clue what I
Some of
did.
this has got to do correct.
Yeah. Ayashimon, right? we
So let's
really,
say
we really,
theoretically it does get canceled, which I feel like I have been worried about for weeks now.
mm-hmm,
Um, it raises an interesting point. So we were going to talk about this later, but maybe we should just talk about it now.
mm-hmm.
With the Mashle author basically getting the "you ain't going fucking anywhere" from the editorial staff,
Yes.
because originally he had said that the series was half over.
Mm-hmm.
He said close to like 70%, didn't he? And
Well,
that seemed to
yes.
mostly line up with where we are right now, because the big
Mm-hmm.
bad is here. He's going to do a couple more fights, and that's probably going to be it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and then in the most recent volume, he released an author's note that basically said, "Oops, I fibbed and I tricked you, and it's not going to end soon." Which is the
Mm-hmm.
silliest fucking thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Like, obviously, no, he wasn't like, "I'm gonna get him." The editor
Mm-hmm.
called and was like, "No, we need you to stay." How much of that do you think is a symptom of the fact that these long-running series are reaching their natural like conclusions, and there's
Mm-hmm.
just nothing left because it's getting canceled constantly? I mean, Mission Yozakura Family has 120 chapters, and now that Doctor Stone is over, it's the fifth oldest series in the book.
Yeah, like the average longevity of a Jump series has gone down so badly. The only reason it's the here we go about averages. The only reason the average longevity of Jump series still looks fine on paper is because One Piece exists and is a massive
Yeah,
outlier.
because it's completely skewing the statistics.
Yeah, but if you use a median, you get the true answer, which is that Jump is kind of in the mud right now when it comes to longevity.
Right, because I mean, you look at series like Bleach and Naruto, and I mean, those were 700 some chapter series,
Yeah.
right? My Hero is going to end probably around 400, if that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe late 300s, early 400s, somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm.
Jujutsu Kaisen, I don't think will even get that long if it stays as long as he says that it's going to.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Doctor Stone ended at 232.
Mm-hmm.
Black Clover is at 325, and that I think is one that doesn't actually look like it's nearing ending anytime soon. So that's probably, other than One Piece, going to be the oldest here pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at everything else that's in here, and it's like Undead Unluck and Mashle, which are both right around 100. Undead Unluck's at 101, Mashle's at 99.
Yeah.
Witch Watch 52. Elusive Samurai 53. Um, Blue Box 43. And then a bunch of chapters that are, or a bunch of series that are barely anything. Duran 13. Ayashimon's 14. Piss 6 is 23.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's nothing in there. There's no, like, firm long runner that's still in there other than One Piece at that point.
Well, honestly, less than like long runner, because like it might also be that just the culture of consuming manga is changing and preferring shorter series. But I think more so than that, it's that once Jujutsu Kaisen ends, uh, there currently is no series that has that potential for breakout success that it had. Because I feel like ever since Naruto and the big three effectively ended, there's always been like, you get one big contender for big success, and while he's blooming, you get the next one already like, coming onto the
Right.
scene. Right? Like Naruto ended, and then immediately you had My Hero Academia, which was really big. Like even before the anime came out, it was a big series. And then you got Black Clover right off the tails of that, which, I personally don't like that much, but it was very successful at the start. It teetered off a little later, but at the start, it seemed like another front runner. Then you get, Demon Slayer, the fucking stuff of legends.
Right.
And then while Demon Slayer was cooking, without even like 2 years of delay, Jujutsu Kaisen was already like doing fairly well to the point where by the time Volume 2 came out, they had already an anime in the works. But here we are. Jujutsu Kaisen is 4 years old. I think it turned 4 years old like this week,
It did, yeah.
actually. Yeah. And there's just no series that could like that has anywhere near that potential or that sort of starting momentum that those series had. Because series that tend to explode and get really popular seem to also mostly be popular right at the start and then just explode once the anime comes out. And there's just nothing like that here whatsoever. Like,
No, I can't think of anything that's even remotely close. I mean, a Chainsaw Man, I guess, if you want to count it, but that's
well, yeah, but Chainsaw Man is not gonna be able to keep weekly Shonen Jump fed because it's not gonna be in weekly Shonen Jump anymore soon.
oh, that's right. It's going to Jump Plus, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Which I mean, it's still the same big company profiting, but in terms of like the
The weekly
magazines,
magazine, yeah.
yeah, the weekly magazine having, you know, like a big market stake, that will be interesting to see because like I'm also thinking in terms of like the app and like here in the West, what the fuck are they going to advertise themselves with once One Piece, My Hero, and Jujutsu Kaisen ends? Black Clover?
I
Are
mean,
they
it
going to be
might
the
have to be like,
yeah? Are they going to be the Black Clover app? Which I mean, fair enough for people who like it, but it definitely doesn't compare to
it
like the
doesn't have anywhere near like the market appeal.
Oh yeah, I mean, Black Clover with an anime was selling worse than Doctor Stone when it didn't have an anime.
Yeah, Black
So
Clover. Not even this is not even like me shitting on it. This is just factually stating. I mean, you compare a series like My Hero and Jujutsu Kaisen that are both at like 60 million now. Um, One Piece is obviously at 11 quadrillion.
yes.
Demon Slayer is also well over 100 million, and
Mhm.
Black Clover is at or around 15 million. 1-5,
Mhm. Yeah.
which is like, I mean,
Not bad.
not bad. I mean, it's hey, any mangaka would love for their series to get that high. It's
Yeah,
just you
right?
compare it to the crazy impact of series like Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen, who have destroyed the lifelong totals of very popular series in such short amounts of time, and
Mhm.
it's just not the same. Like the appeal and the widespread popularity just isn't there.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know, it'll be interesting to see. We might even see like a regression of like global anime popularity. Like we might see at least Weekly Shonen Jump sort of shrink down into a more domestically popular magazine. Because I mean, we also have an influx of series that seem to be tailored towards very Japanese audiences. You look at something like Akane-banashi and Elusive Samurai and what is it? Even Piss 6 and High School Family and also Me and Roboco. Like these are all series that try to gain a lot of value out of the fact that they expect their readers to be, immersed in Japanese society and Japanese pop culture to a certain extent.
Right.
So I wonder if we'll just see Weekly Shonen Jump just shrink down into more domestic um magazine, which again will make the prolonged existence of this app incredibly interesting.
Yeah, it's
It will
just
also
odd,
put
and you wonder how much of that is a grave that they dug themselves by just because I mean, like we said, we had shrinking our list by a third still gave us 11 cancellations,
yeah. So
which
all I can say to that is that they're trying to put me out of business, and
it's
I
aimed at
do not
you
look up.
specifically.
Yeah, like when when Jason Shonen Jump, the CEO of Shonen Jump, walked down to Mr. Mashle and put the gun on his table and said, "Look, buddy, we got this one anime YouTuber, and we just cannot have him pay his rent this month." Like,
This man needs to starve for at least a month.
yes, he's oh god, he needs to get rid of his pandemic belly. Which, hey, I mean, I appreciate the concern. It's one that I share. Ugh, it's so bad. I'm gonna have to like go on a liquid diet or some shit. It's
Oh man,
so awful.
Ayashimon fans are gonna be thrilled and then really angry that the Ayashimon segment was 22 minutes long.
And it's just 22 minutes of doom posting.
It's just solid Shonen Jump Doom posting.
They just click into the middle and they skip into the middle of us saying something like, "The industry is fucked. We're all gonna starve."
We're all gonna die.
Yes. Do we want to move on then, so we don't give
Yeah,
them too much
yeah.
hope?
We'll jump into Blue Box.
Hey, they said the L word.
They did say the L word. Also, I think it's really funny that the last graphic was Shiratsu shooting her shot and missing.
Yes, right. Talk about visual storytelling.
Yeah, cinema. This is true cinema.
Like someone called Scorsese. But yeah, no, this was exhausting. Like
Yes, I'm emotionally tired.
like the fucking parallel action of them hanging out on the playground and the basketball game going off, like oof, and as you said, her missing her shot at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Uh and God, yeah, there's no going back from this. Unless like okay, unless they pull something like Taiki didn't hear her properly or something, and then she backtracks. But I feel like Blue Box is too good for that, right? Like they wouldn't do that
Yeah, I would think not. I mean, they did make a panties joke this week, which I thought was a little weird for the
beneath it.
the
Yeah.
setting. Yeah, but either that or she'll refuse to say like he won't pick up the hint because he's an idiot. Because
Oh
we've
yeah.
established he's a massive dumbass so far, and
Hmm.
then he'll be like, "So who is it?" And she'll be like, "Oh my god, he didn't pick up the hint," and then she'll just like back off.
That's the solution. She will, like, he will say that, and she will realize how much of a dunce he is, and immediately fall out of love with him. Problem solved.
And me, yeah, she'll realize he's a complete idiot, and be like, "You know what? Forget it.
You know what? I've done my part, and you are just not reciprocating.
I'm not getting any feedback over here." So
Have fun watching pretending to care about basketball for the rest of your life. Goodbye. But we're only laughing to cope, folks,
yeah, this is
because
pain. This is serious pain.
yeah, I mean we've said it before, but it's such a tough situation when a love triangle is genuinely like you want everyone to win,
Yeah,
right?
usually in a love triangle, like there's someone that you obviously are like, not you. It's
Mm-hmm.
not supposed to be you, and I don't have that here.
Yeah, because like with any other love triangle, when a love confession comes up, you're either cheering or you're like, screaming your head off. But both of them are preferable emotions to this, where
Mm-hmm.
you're just like,
Yeah, you're just uncertain and in pain.
yeah, um, which isn't great. I'm not happy, but also I like this series quite a lot.
Are they at the place where Shiratsu is? They're not, are they?
I don't think
I
so.
think they're back
No.
at the school, right? And she's at the Nationals Stadium.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was really concerned that she was gonna be like miserable from missing that shot and walk out and see the two of them talking.
Oh, bro, she's gonna walk out and see the two of them kissing.
Oh God, I don't want to.
It's probably not gonna happen, but I really needed to put that into your head now.
I'm canceling the show. We're done.
We got that 12th cancellation of the year. That Mashle mangaka is gonna have to put in extra work now because of us.
He's gonna have to make a podcast too.
Oh my god, dude, we are what? This is what episode? Is this episode 69?
I think it is, yeah.
Is this fucking episode 69?
I don't actually know the exact number because I'm not a very responsible content creator.
Yeah, I'm gonna check. If you hear me clicking around, I apologize. This is me trying to figure out if this is
No, it's
genuinely the big
episode
one.
66.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought we were further than that.
6 days
Oh yeah, it
ago
is
was
60.
episode 65.
Okay, so we are a more long-running series than we're longer than Blue Box. We're long. Jesus Christ! Wait a minute. If we were running in Jump as a series, we'd be like the 8th oldest series.
Yeah, we're older than Witch Watch. We're older than the Elusive Samurai. We're older than Sakamoto. Blue
The only
Box.
non-huge series that are older than us are Undead Unluck and Mashle. Everything else is younger.
And Yozakura Family.
Yeah, okay, fair. And okay, fine. High School Family, but who the fuck reads that?
I actually have no fucking idea.
Like,
Apparently
honest
it's
to
very
God.
popular though. I think it's just one of those ones that it's just like for Japanese people.
Yeah, I guess, but oh, also no, never mind. Roboco is also older than us.
Ugh.
Ugh, I can't
Ugh.
believe this shit.
Ugh.
Did Roboco seriously start before we started this podcast? That's crazy.
Did it? I don't know, because remember we've had a lot of weeks off and stuff.
Yeah, but not enough to offset for over 10 weeks, right?
Probably not. I think it was just a little bit because we started in October. Roboco, let's see, was chapter 20 was late November for Roboco. So
Okay.
4 chapters in November, 4 in October, September. It would have started in like the summer of the year that we started.
Okay. So we would have already been acquainted with it in episode 1. Anyone who's like a big SNC head can pull up like a clip from episode 1 of us complaining about Roboco.
It's probably there.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the first time we called it the Family Guy of Shonen Jump.
Yeah, that sounds like
So,
a joke we would have made in the first episode.
oh, I'm pretty. I actually I think I know for a fact that we that was the only way we would refer to it for a hot minute.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I do recall that. I also recall
Mm.
it's making the actual Family Guy jokes like with the voice,
Yes,
with
you did
the
that.
Peter voice.
Oh my god. I absolutely need like a Peter Griffin impersonator to review like the newest My Hero arc. Horse, it's crazy. He wants to tank the economy. All right,
Think about the economy.
we're already falling into capitalist for one, so do we want to move on?
Yeah, we'll go. Just Blue Box once again. Pain out of 10.
Yeah,
Suffering
pain
out
out
of
of 10.
10.
Awful.
Uh,
Love it.
so next up is Mashle.
Yeah, so did we know that there was an elder brother?
We knew there were many siblings. I don't know if we knew the
Yeah.
hierarchy.
Yeah, cuz this
I don't know why he looks like a Guilty Gear character.
hey, I'm not complaining. That sword looks pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
But I will say, I find it just hilarious that the same week when we find out that he is probably being forced to artificially extend the series, we get a chapter that randomly introduces a new villain.
A new villain we had not seen before. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's pretty funny. Um, I do like the tease of just how powerful Innocent Zero is. I like that we get sort of this. Oh, you have your new cool power up, but it's not actually useful against me for some reason. Isn't that stupid? Um, So yeah, no, I'm on board with this. Like, the whole thing with Mashle is if he can keep this energy up for however long he wants or he has to go, I guess, I'm not gonna be too mad. But obviously, if the quality is gonna start like declining, that's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, because I mean, they're asking him to push beyond what he originally planned to do, and then all of a sudden he's got a. Not that I don't have faith in the guy. I think Mashle's been very good for the 100 chapters it's been out for so far, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just worrying anytime that someone's like an editor is making me do a thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it
Yeah.
works out. Like editors made Sasuke.
Mm-hmm.
Editors made
Yeah.
Naruto not a fox child that pees on
Y-
people.
Yeah. Editors made jutsu not fart related.
Oh my god, was it really?
Yes, that was his original plan. They're all animals and they all had fart related powers. I'm not. I wish I was making that up. Yeah, I swear to God, Naruto. This is another fucking Naruto tangent, but fuck it. Like Naruto's success is like 50% Kishimoto and 50% his editors telling him no every other
Yeah,
week.
it's editors just like shutting him down.
Yeah, um, because also like I find it so funny. You get to the end of Shippuden or the end of part 2 in the manga, and it just it feels more like it's drawn by assistants than it's drawn by him. Like the art style changes so much, and then you get into Boruto, and early Boruto looks almost the same before it mutates into whatever the fuck it is now. Um, so you know, editors and assistants sometimes do be goated, but obviously it's never a good thing to hear. Oh yeah, I got the scary call from Shonen Jump.
Yeah. It's just, I mean,
Um,
I just kind of wonder what else you can do.
mhm.
Like,
I don't know, like
Mashal
new.
just isn't that like in depth. I always thought a short run made sense for it because there's not that much to it.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I don't know what you can really do to stretch it out other than like, oh, Innocent Zero ran away.
Yeah, I mean, he ran away and then go just full, like even more battle shonen. Like, give us, we had like a tournament ish kind of arc. Now give us like
Like a training arc.
training arc. Give us the fucking war arc. Why not? Magic war. I mean, give us a battle at Hogwarts. I mean, this guy is pretty much just Voldemort, like straight up. Like it's just a good old I don't want to die. So I became a villain. Even have like the snake visual devouring the mouse. So yeah, I don't know. It's definitely going to be interesting. This is very much a crucial moment for Mashal. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Um and considering that Dr. Stone ended this week, it's also I guess interesting to think, okay, are those connected? Like for some reason Dr. Stone had to end now for whatever reason. And the editorial staff decided, hey, look, Mr. Mashal, Mr. Komoto, um, no, you're not leaving. So yeah, I don't know. It's definitely going to be interesting to observe it for the next couple of weeks and sort of to suss out where this is going.
Yeah, it'll be curious, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where it's gonna go. I don't know.
Curious out of 10.
Yep.
Is that what we're giving it?
Yep. Curious out of 10.
Bet.
So that
What's
makes
next?
next up is Akane-banashi.
All right. Do you also feel like it's getting to the point where not really knowing what a Rakugo is becoming a downside?
Absolutely. I am so lost almost all the time.
Yeah. Like at the start, I feel like the story itself had a good enough hook to like keep me interested. But we're 4 chapters in, and now I'm starting to sort of feel okay, I'm a little out of my depth here, right? Like I'm just not. I understand what Rakugo is on a basic, like, on paper level, but I'm just so unfamiliar with it that I have no basis to judge these characters or performances on. Um, and again, as I said before, this really feels like one of those series that's just made for the Japanese domestic audience, and we get it translated as just like a side effect of the general translation efforts that are being made right now with the app. So yeah, I don't know. Like this was an okay chapter. I like the new character, but it's definitely starting to be a bit of a thorn in my ass that I don't really know what the core subject here even is.
Yeah, like I like the characters for the most part. Like I really like the girl. I really like the new guy. But it's just like every time they're actually performing, I'm completely dependent on that character afterward who's like, "Oh, he does this good." And I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I
Right.
can't like every performance they ever show, I'm like, "All right, I don't know what I'm supposed to be gleaning from this."
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Would you say that this is done? That this is better communicated than, for example, Act Age? Because I never read it,
No,
so I have
Act
no
Age
clue.
was much clearer.
Okay.
But I think it's because, stage and TV acting is a fairly universal thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because she was literally just like an actress on like TV shows, and sometimes she did stage. But like
Mm-hmm.
again, a stage play and some very specific Japanese style stage play are like two different things.
Mm-hmm.
I never really had any problem in Act Age like understanding what they were trying to accomplish when they were putting on a performance.
Yeah. Like it's just I don't know. As I said, like just feel very disconnected because of that, and yeah. So I'm guessing it really just comes down to the fact that it's something that we culturally have like no connection to. It's kind of similar to Elusive Samurai in that aspect, I guess.
Yeah,
But yeah, I have
yeah.
almost nothing to say beyond that. Like it's fine. I like these characters. But I can already tell that this is going to be a problem going forward. That like it's not a fault of the series, right? Like it's just a feature of it.
Right. I mean,
Um,
it's just like it's the fact that it wasn't made for us. So it's
yeah,
it's
and it's
sometimes
like
it's difficult to follow along.
yeah, and like again, I don't fault it for it. Like it's a Japanese comic. It should do things that are uniquely Japanese and talk about Japanese topics. But at the same time, I'm just a silly little guy over here in Europe. I'm just a small A. Look, I'm just a small man. I'm a small birthday guy. Like, what do you want from me? Like, yeah. So I can see myself dropping this just off the fact that it's hard to connect to something that is so distant from me.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, I like the new guy a lot, so I'm hoping that he injects a little bit into it for me, but I don't feel like we're gonna see him again for a while.
mhm,
Um, Now I'm kind of hoping that now that the primary performance bit is over, we might start getting into some character stuff that will kind of balance it back out a little bit, but I guess we'll see.
mhm. But yeah, I don't know. As I said, I
Culturally distant out of 10.
yes, uh, I am not Japanese enough for this out of 10.
So that makes the next one Undead Unluck.
Raw.
Super raw. He's just like, I don't give a fuck. I'm killing every rule.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, like fuck the rules, literally. It's uh it's so funny. Like it's the most brain dead meathead like rampage he's going on, but it's so fucking cool. And the entire world is just trying their fucking hardest to like deal with it
He fucking launches his blood, skin, and bones.
as separate clones,
Yep.
which has to be like the grossest power in all of Jump.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
Easily. It's like that and the guy from Jujutsu Kaisen that rips his teeth out and throws them as bombs.
Oh yeah, of course. But honestly, I think this one might be worse, just because it's so much more extreme in a way.
I don't know, because this one at least feels a little cartoonish to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, ha, it's like literally a skeleton and his blood just looks like him, but red. It's got like a little bit of cartoonish silliness to it.
Whereas the what is it, Hozenuki, whatever his name is, he just pulls his teeth out and is like
Yeah, he's
ah
literally
ah.
just like dropping an eyeball with like the stem and everything attached to it as a bomb. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't need that.
Also, God, I love it when mangaka draw like skeletons doing shit. Cause like that panel on page 18 where it says that was a mistake, and it's just skeleton Andy grabbing the Uma. That's so fucking raw. That's so fucking cool.
Which one is that he's grabbing right there?
Is it Gravity? No, it's not
No,
Gravity.
Gravity got killed earlier by the skin.
So maybe it's just another one. I mean, doesn't seem to be doesn't seem to be a lack of
Yeah,
them.
because Skeleton Andy was fighting the fire dragon, Magma.
Oh, well, honestly, it might be magma because look at what's coming out of that little eyeball thing. That
Oh, it
kind of
might
looks
be
like
his
magma.
core. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, right. Cores exist.
Yeah.
So then that's probably it.
Oh yeah, it
But
is because it on page 19 he's stabbing it with his bone hand.
oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Um,
and you see these inside Magma on the top right panel. He's like in
mhm.
the dragon stabbing the core.
Yes, yes. Right. Okay, we figured it out. We've combined our brains.
We actually read the chapter.
Yes, we, we managed to gain basic media literacy for once. This will never happen again.
Yeah, don't count on it ever again.
Yeah, we're gonna go back to like saying, oh, uh, Deku should have stayed quirkless in chapter one. We're just gonna go back to saying shit like that. Also, holy shit, is that like a solar, um, like a solar storm landing on the Earth, and is that gonna manifest into the next Uma he has to fight?
Maybe. I mean, it's whatever it is. It's apparently God's wrath, so it must
Yeah,
be
God's
doing something.
authority.
Yeah.
Are
Who the
we
fuck is she
finally gonna?
talking to on the moon that just looks like a glowy white person?
Well, Luna, someone who is like they've appeared a few times. I've never understood what they exactly do. I think they just communicate with them
Are they
between
just the
them and God.
mediator between them and God?
Yeah, because they also went to the moon when they what was it? When they reset the loop a couple of chapters ago. Or whatever it was. They were on the moon for something. When they was it time travel? I don't remember. Been too long.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Like yeah,
Undead Unluck, I'm too far down the meathead rabbit hole to like. I'm not gonna
yeah.
go back and look for detail. Just I want to watch funny man do stabs.
Yeah, at this point it really is like that. I'm sure someone can explain it to us.
Someone will explain it to us, and then they'll like lecture us for not reading it properly. And I'm gonna tell you, I don't care.
Are you calling me an idiot? Good, because I agree.
Correct. Yeah.
Moving on.
I'm
I
glad
have
we're on the
not
same page.
I have not had a critical thought in my entire life. Let's go. Like, what are we gonna do with that now? I'm just here on my Sunday evening talking about meathead shit. I don't have time to think. That's because you see, thinking for me is a business expense because that's when I write my video scripts. Like you don't take work home with you.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
you gotta leave work at work.
yeah. I don't think outside of office hours. You want to reach critical thought? I'm sorry. Call on Monday between Monday and Friday between the hours of 8 and 4. All right. We've already deteriorated here. Do we want to move on?
Yes, we'll move on. That was
Yeah.
funny, spooky, scary skeleton man out of 10.
Yes. Love spooky skeletons out of 10.
So
What's
next up
next?
is the Elusive Samurai.
All right. This author's like gag designs are so fucking good.
Yes, I really love the idea that like how readable a character is like on their face. This dude just has no face because no one can read him, and he's the perfect villain for the uncle who literally can't hide anything.
Yeah. It's so funny because he's just like a fucking weirdo with his daughter, but he still has that massive like black stain on his face.
Yeah, even when he's like sitting around with his daughter being a fucking loser, he's still got the black face.
Yeah. Yeah, like as I said, this manga's villain gallery is so funny
They're
with all the
so
like
much better
information.
than the heroes.
Yeah, right.
We got this guy, we got eye guy, we got ear guy.
You got the guy covered in ants.
What a fucking
And then
what
we
a
have the
group of
demon man.
yeah, and then we've got horrifying demon man.
What a fucking like what the fuck's happening to the guy that he got spit on or spit into
I don't
earlier?
know. He's like convulsing.
He's just super horny.
I mean, it kind of looks that way.
I mean, like his face is reddened and he's like twitching and thrusting.
Yeah, he's like drooling. Yeah.
This man's just discovered homosexuality.
He's grown.
First man in Japan to discover that liking men kind of goated. It's impossible. But yeah, the rest of this chapter was kind of whatever, like just them hanging out more. And then obviously the reveal at the end that they're gonna start their little war.
And they're gonna murder their new friend's dad.
Mm-hmm. Also, I don't like their new friend.
I'm okay with
She's
her.
weird.
She's
She's
weird,
weird.
but I'm okay with her.
I don't know. The copious amounts of shots of like her like exposed legs together with like, oh, your master, he must stimulate you,
Okay,
has made me
yeah,
think.
that is a bit much. But
Yeah,
she is a little bit of a personality in a gaggle of heroes that has so far been pretty bereft of it.
yeah, fair enough. I can see that.
She is the horniest 12-year-old of all time, but at least she has a personality.
Yeah, that's a clip you want to have on the internet of you saying that. Brave man. You really are very hopeful that you're never going to have to show any of your online work to a future employer, right?
Well, I just assume that by the time they get to a Shonen and Chill episode, they will not watch it for 52 minutes. So,
Okay, fair enough. As I said, that time I had to show my all for one video at a job interview, and the man sat through all 40 minutes of it with me there, cringing myself into the grounds of the earth. Oh, I still start sweating when I think about it.
yeah, that sounds horrifyingly uncomfortable.
That was terrible. Yeah. Um, but anyway, do we have anything else to say about Elusive
Not
Samurai?
really. I'm not really sure why this series has so many like sexually charged elements when he intentionally made them so young.
I mean, to be fair, most of them have only started like in the last couple of chapters with the introduction of this girl. Like, if you think about the weird like makeout scene from a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I guess. It's just like you made them 12, dog, so why? This was
Yeah,
you make this story. This is all your decision.
yeah. It's not like these are not living characters who decide to be horny.
Yeah, like you could just make them like 18 or not horny. Either one is fine.
Yeah, but I guess we're stuck with this now for the moment. It is what it is. I saw some people in the comments, I think last time, say like, oh, they're in the 1300s and you grow up faster there, and I'm like, that's complete bullshit. This is still
It's
written
a
by
fiction.
someone
Yeah,
in 20.
it's a fictional story. I don't care if it's more
Yeah,
period appropriate.
was General Takauji, the real General Takauji of Japan, a multi-eyed eldritch monster? I don't remember that part of my history books. That's I didn't remember reading that in the Nihon Shoki. Like, but yeah, no, it's kind of weird. So we'll see. I'm kind of ready to be rid of this girl. I don't want her to be a main addition because, as I
I
said, she's
don't
kind of weird.
think my worry is not that she'll join the group. I think that if they kill her dad, she might be a recurring villain.
Oh, hey, maybe then she'll stop talking about 8-year-olds stimulating each other, and she'll talk
Given
about like,
what the villains of this series, despite being funny, are extremely one note in their gag, she definitely won't. If
fuck,
anything, it will be the only thing that she talks about.
shit. Oh well, Jump really is kind of in the mud, isn't it?
It's struggling.
Yeah, but oh well. What's
That
next?
Mashle author, he's got a lot of work to do.
Every time a chapter ranks like below number 1 of any series, which happens every week, they call him up and it's like, "Oh, you better have some fire cooking."
You're in
He's
trouble this week, buddy.
it's like
Elusive
at 4
Samurai
stoves.
drops another fucking dead weight.
Oh god, my hero is gonna end. And the author of Mashle is gonna have an announcement saying, "So anyway, I live at the office now. Please
So
send all
anyway,
fan."
I've decided that Mashle is just going to be like something I chronicle for the rest of my life.
Yeah, it's autobiographical, actually. Every chapter is just a day in my life. Oh god, no, that's
My hero's gonna end, and there's gonna be one tweet on the Mashle guy's Twitter account, and it's just gonna be an all-white room with nothing in it but a pencil and a piece of paper.
the Mashle's author is gonna wake up the day my hero ends, and his phone will have a single message from the Shonen Jump CEO. He opens it, and it's just a list of like deadlines that reach all the way until his expected death date.
He opens it, and it's just a zoomed-in photograph of the editor's eyes.
It's like, I'm watching you. He gets a single text from Horikoshi, and it's like, I did my best. Now it's your turn. Oh, this is awful. Like, oh god. That's the other thing, of course. Once these big series end, I don't want to imagine how the editorial staff is going to treat these younger, newer authors.
Oh
Because,
god, I know. It's gonna be
yeah,
kind of a, because I mean, think of how they treat the established ones.
yeah, like, because I don't know what happened back when Naruto ended, um, in 2014, but I'm imagining it wasn't pretty. You know, the entire restructuring of like, okay, who do we push marketing wise, must have been very make or break for some people.
Probably. I mean, but we did kind of talk about earlier how they already had sort of the successor in line with
True, true.
Horikoshi at the time, and then straight into Gotoge and now Akatami,
Hmm.
and that there really isn't anyone now to do that. I mean, I don't think them telling the Mashle guy he can't end his series is them like trying to push Mashle to that status or anything like that. I think it's literally like, if you end, we have 4 books. we
Yeah.
we cannot have anybody else end right now.
Hmm.
Um, so I don't know.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm sure this is a good discussion we will keep having for like essentially until after Ayashimon ends, whether that be through natural means or just a natural or a cancellation.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
But
well, they're gonna have to slow down eventually. I mean, the cancellation parade doesn't work when you actually have all of your established series hitting the end of their lifespan.
yeah, unless you really just want to turn into a magazine that only hosts 20-week mangas, which I mean, if you really want to go down that way and only ever produce 2 volumes of everything, I mean, go ahead, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could, but like at the same time, imagine how much burnout you're gonna be cycling through people,
Yeah.
telling them like, okay, make this series. Okay, it's out. Okay, now we need 4 more by
Hmm.
next week. Like that, they'd have to scale down the entire magazine like to do that.
Well, honestly, I think the most realistic scenario is going to be that as like My Hero and Jujutsu Kaisen like start getting closer, and One Piece start getting closer to the end, we're gonna see like an increase of the speed at which they greenlight and then cancel new series. I think they're gonna just really, really crack down on that.
Just start throwing shit at the wall until something gets instant hit popular like Demon Slayer and JJK
Yeah,
did.
basically like start grinding authors through the meat grinder until one of them produces something that does decently in its first volume, and then just market the shit out of that, and then repeat until you have another strong lineup of like 6 or 5 heavy hitters, and the rest is just, to fill out the magazine. As awful as that sounds, it's just kind of what seems to be what I can see realistically as them doing, which
It's
obviously sucks, right?
depressing. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but anyway, do we want to move on from being
Yeah.
sad to being
Going back to
sadder?
Doom posting again.
Yeah.
We'll move on to Dr. Stone.
Oh yeah. Just the thing we need for a
To not
break
be
from doom
depressing.
posting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I thought it was sweet. Like it had a
It
lot of callbacks, right?
Yeah, it was wholesome enough, I guess. What the hell though with the pacing?
Yeah. So why why did it end now? Like it didn't feel like a very natural way to end.
No, it really didn't. I mean, I've had a lot of people get on my case about like, oh, getting to space was always where it should have ended, and although everything that came after it just doesn't matter, which is not true, um, at all. Like we we had the first meeting with Y Man
Mhm.
was like 228 was the reveal
Mhm.
of Y Man.
Mhm.
Uh, and then the end of the series is 232.
Yeah, 5 chapters.
Yeah, I mean, Y-Man left in what, 231,
Mhm.
and they were just like, "Fuck off." Like it felt like we got the reveal, and he was like, "My work here is done," and
Yeah.
that was it.
Yeah, pretty much. Which is a bizarre, it's just a bizarre turn of events. Like I kind of get it in the sense of like once the reveal is done, there's nothing else you can really do. Um but this is just weird. This is
Yeah,
just so,
it's so sudden.
yeah.
Like you think of how long they took to build the rocket, and like
Mhm.
how much of the debate about like, oh, we gotta make the turn rocket. No, we don't have time. Oh, we can. And then they get to space and like jack shit happens. And
Uh-huh.
they have that whole discussion about like we gotta pick the exact right team for the job. It's gotta be Ryusui can't go, it's gotta be Stanley, and then Ryusui sneaks along anyway. But then also no one in space does anything.
Mhm.
Except like Stanley aims a bazooka one time and Kohaku throws good one time.
Mhm.
And it's like, all right. The entirety
Yeah.
of the trip to space was 3 chapters of Senku talking to an alien that didn't give a shit about him being there and left.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's definitely kind of, as I said, I don't dislike it. It's just it doesn't make sense to me
Yeah,
how
it sounds like
accelerated it
I'm
got.
probably being pretty harsh about it. I'm not like, I don't think it sucks as much as I'm like, wow, I had no inclination it was about to end a month and a half ago.
Mhm.
And now all of
Yeah.
a sudden it's completely concluded.
Yeah. I mean, what can we do at this point? Like this is, yeah, like it ends kind of in that like sweet spot where it's like, oh, our work isn't done yet, haha, there is way more to do, but the series is over, kind of deal. Also, what a fucking absurd like final thing for them, the fucking time machine.
Yeah, I don't know.
That one's really weird. I don't even understand what their logic here is. Like, we'll send a petri beam through time and like save people. What?
Yeah, what does that even mean? Like we're gonna petrify people in the past to prevent the? Is he talking about like? Because the pictures that it shows when he says that, I think are like hang on, I have to go find it again. Let's see if I can recognize the fucking statues. Is he talking about like his parents and like the Soyuz survivors? Because those people died of natural causes, and I thought the whole debate was that like immortality is bad, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of like that entire time machine part is kind of a lot of gibberish.
And it's
Like, I'm
like
sorry to say.
they're saying, "Oh, we could save all 7 billion people on Earth." I guess they wants to bring back everyone that would have died between the original petrification and now. But like that, what the fuck? That's like
Yeah,
only his family.
yeah.
So they're
Well,
making a whole time machine basically just to get Senku's dad back.
hey, you know what? Byakuya was cool.
Yeah, I
I
did like
will.
Byakuya. Also, I like how the spin-off was supposed to be explicitly non-canon, and they've clarified it multiple times, and then they show the fucking AI from the spin-off in this chapter.
Oh, where?
He is on page 22 in Zeno's explanation of creating an AI savior.
Oh, is that what it looks
That's
like?
the little robot before he turns into a sexy anime girl because it's a Boichi series.
Oh, speaking of Boichi, he could not end this series without drawing Fem Senku at least once.
Yeah, we knew it was coming.
Like, Jesus Christ, he really went all in there.
Yeah, he went full tilt on Fem Senku.
Mm-hmm. Um, but yeah, like, it's a sweet send off, that's for sure. Just as I said, confusing as hell. Like, because I'm obviously, because we're sort of this oh, we talk about the series and the magazine kind of podcast. Obviously, I'm just here thinking like, what was like the behind the scenes logic of this? Like, why did a series that was doing well get an ending that, honest to God, kind of feels like it had to be like invented in a rush?
Doesn't it though? Like, and I have no basis for thinking that because again, it was doing well enough. There's obviously it's at 200 plus chapters. You're not gonna cancel something 200 chapters in when it's got
Mm-hmm.
an anime that's still running and everything. It's but like, did he just say I'm done now?
Yeah, I mean, it could be that when they first started with it, or sort of early on, they agreed upon a final date that was like not non-negotiable, and they just reached it, and they had to make do with that how they could. But it seems so weird by like just the way it feels. It doesn't feel like a chapter that was thought out in advance very much.
The
Like
whole
it
kind
feels
of
like,
conclusion doesn't really feel that way.
yeah, right? Like, honestly, I like the Y-Man reveal, but everything since then has felt off. That's for
Yeah, I
sure.
thought the reveal was fine, but then like everything that came after, like the whole it's time for our ultimate battle, the debate with Y-Man, and it's like 5 pages, and then Y-Man's like, you guys kind of blow. I'm out. And he's just gone, and then that's it.
Senku tried to debate with Cthulhu,
Yeah, and
and it
Cthulhu's like,
was just like,
I'm not doing this shit.
yeah, you're too stupid, you smooth monkey.
That's the comment section versus the YouTuber is what that is.
Yeah.
Senku's leaving comments, and Y-Man's like, I'm disabling this.
Yeah, I'm gone.
I'm muting you.
Which is also just such a weird conclusion. Like, the big salvation from the petrification beam is that they just got bored.
Yeah, they're just like, humans suck, and that's it. That's how they saved the day. Is like being too shitty.
Yeah. And also, I am really sad that the whole, hey, being immortal is kind of a moral dilemma thing never comes up again. That's kind of a letdown.
It never comes up again, and it kind of gets flipped on its head when he's like, yeah, we're gonna go back in time and save people who died naturally,
Mm-hmm.
and bring them to the fucking future.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like, oh, okay,
Like, all right.
fine, I guess.
And I mean, I also like how the whole thing with like why they can make a time machine is just like uh, a whole bunch of non-science. Like just, oh
Yeah.
yeah, Y-Man just introduced us to a bunch of things that we had never done before, which I mean is cool. And like, but I'm struggling to see how this is a payoff because like I wasn't reading Doctor Stone for them to revive Byakuya. That wasn't really what I was looking for. Um, I was looking for society to kind of come back and for Senku to lead the charge, which he kind of does, right? But it isn't the point of this chapter. The point of this chapter is, hey, we're doing something crazy.
Right. I I don't know. It's fine. I'm not like devastated by it, but it does feel like that the bag was fumbled at some point somewhere.
Yeah, definitely. Which is a shame. It really is a shame. Doctor Stone was such an inventive and cool series.
Yeah, I mean, Doctor Stone. I think this is probably the most disappointed in it I've ever been,
Mm-hmm.
and I
Damn,
just,
folks, can you send some hugs to Zen in the comment
yeah,
sections?
it's hurting me a little bit, man. It's just like,
Hashtag hugs for Zen.
yeah. I
That's
mean,
all.
I just don't get like it had to have been something behind the scenes because like again, there was like when they were going into space, there was no inclination this was going to be over in 6 weeks,
Right?
and the
Yeah.
whole series was going to be over. Like
Yeah,
we
like
knew that that was the conclusion what was going to happen, but like 6 chapters.
mhm.
Imagine the war started and then All Might was just like, "All right, this is it, the final confrontation with Shigaraki," and then Shigaraki's like, "I'm kind of bored of doing this now,"
Mhm.
and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay," and then there's a time skip where Deku and Izuku get married, and then that's it, and then it's over.
Yeah, I mean, uh in between the time that it has taken My Hero to go from we should start a war to we have started a war, Dr. Stone went from hey, we're going to space to the series is over.
Yeah, like
That's insane pacing.
yeah, I just don't understand. It really felt like once they got into space, the author was like, "And I'm done, and I'm gonna just start scribbling. Like I gotta get this shit out."
Yeah, 6 weeks ago was when Jesus Christ, like 6 weeks ago was just the last time we got a Megumi chapter in Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yep.
Like in the time that it took Yuta to dismantle a couple of curses, Doctor Stone just fucking ended.
Yep. Because I mean, 6 weeks ago of Doctor Stone was there's 226, and it was Senku landing on the moon.
Yeah.
So
Like,
Senku landed on the moon, revealed, got the Y-Man reveal. We got the answer to all of the basically the questions that have been running for 2 years plus.
mm-hmm.
We got no, not 2 years, like 5 years. How old is Doctor Stone? 4 or 5 years old?
Um, four, no, 4 years. Yeah,
4 years
four and a
old?
half, I think.
Yeah. Uh, we got how it's he saved the day, which is I guess is by just them not being interested anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And we got a time skip resolution chapter
Mm-hmm.
in the amount of time it's taken Yuta to like fight a couple dudes.
Yeah.
Or like yeah,
Jesus Christ.
for All Might to be like, here's the war plan. Let's do war now.
Yes. Like,
It's just it's a lot. And Doctor Stone usually wasn't super heavy handed with its pacing in the past, which might be why it feels so much more jarring. Is
mm-hmm.
Doctor Stone was always sort of because even in the same arc, we talked about how it seemed to just be like hanging out and relishing the fact that we made it to space.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, it was like, ah, man, that was good. Okay, anyway, we're done. We're done.
Mm-hmm. Like, it just feels off, I think is the best way I can put it. Like, it's really just it really just seems like something had to have gone off the rails behind the scenes. And we're being served this as sort of the hey, no, everything is fine, haha, look, time machine kind of thing, which really, yeah, kind of sucks.
Yeah, I'll say. Like, I don't know. I don't want to spitball too much because I feel like I don't want anyone to take my Doom post theorizing as like
Mm-hmm.
information. But do you think it's something like with all these series ending and them telling the Mashle guy like you better get your shit together, they're just in like panic mode and they're like, all right, you need to wrap it up so that we can start getting new people for this slot if you're gonna end anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the only thing I can think of. Is that like you're in your last arc, you're already done, like you're not continuing. Let's just hurry up and wrap it up so we can have a slot and we can start putting manga in that can start getting some time under their belt for before
Mhm.
My Hero ends.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it could be. Again, we're just conjecturing at this point. There's
Yeah,
no
I mean
way
it's
to
based on
know.
nothing. It's just assumption.
Yeah, and it's frustrating because we will never know. Because like Japan has such a like culture of never offending even past employers, so there's
Hmm.
absolutely no chance that anyone's ever gonna say anything.
Yep.
Which also doesn't feel particularly great. Um, but yeah, I mean, I guess what else is there left to say besides goodbye, Dr. Stone. It was good while it lasted until it wasn't. Like, what else are we left with?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a mess.
What a
I'll tell you that.
yeah, what a sad Sunday this has turned out to be.
Hmm. A little depressing.
Yeah, depressing out of 10. Is that our Does that really have to be our verdict on Dr. Stone?
That it's depressing out of 10. Yeah, it feels bad because this is a series where I want to look at the ending like fondly and be like, ah, the
Yeah.
memories. And boy, that didn't happen at all this chapter.
Yeah, but I mean, if we say the last 6 chapters were a doozy, that still leaves us with um 220-ish chapters of goodness,
Yeah,
right? And an ending obviously is paramount, but at the same time, it did keep us entertained and well entertained for a very long time. So maybe,
yeah. I still like Dr. Stone quite a bit. It's a special place in my heart for sure, but it's not an ending I see myself revisiting at any point.
oh yeah. But I think considering its sort of lifetime achievement, I can give it a got excited out of 10.
I can get behind that. I did
Yeah.
get excited out of 10.
Yeah. Thank you, Senku. You did get us excited.
All right,
Oof.
that's not actually the top three. So we have to talk about something else first. Shit.
Yes, we gotta
Uh,
talk about the title series this
yeah,
week.
Witch Watch.
Which,
Which what a weird chapter for a name drop.
right? This was very much a joke chapter for the most part until we got to the
I
final name drop.
It really feels like this was actually like a cancellation chapter.
You think?
Just that name drop is so awkward and uncomfortable. And it's like a
Mhm.
double spread of the whole cast with the title and I'm like, what? What? Did it, did it end? Like I had to look for the to be continued.
Yeah, I know. Like it was definitely kind of weird, but at the same time this was the most notable thing about the chapter, frankly.
Oh yeah, it was not very entertaining otherwise. I mean, it was more engaging than like the manga teacher.
Oh yeah, but anything is, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not a high bar, but still.
Yeah. And we got some good art out of it, like Moy destroying the floor of the pool. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a cool picture too. I like when Moy
Mhm.
does things. It's just he doesn't do them very often.
I like it when this manga does things. It's
Yeah,
just
this
it
manga is
doesn't
really
do
cool
things
when
very
it does
often.
shit. It just doesn't
Yeah.
seem to want to that much.
Yeah. Um, which oh, we're complaining about the slice of life not having enough action, but at the same time, you got magic in here for a reason. Like use it for something cool instead of weird council member who wants to get back at the witch for rejecting his idea.
And it's
Like
like I think part of the reason this is like extra annoying to me is that when it does do action, it's fucking awesome.
yeah,
Moy
right?
versus Wolf was cool as hell.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
the rest of this is just like what the fuck? What?
Yeah, why?
Yeah,
Why
why?
bothering? Why are we bothering with this?
And like I think the problem too is that a lot of the slice of life stuff doesn't it's not like cuz the slice of life bits where they're pushing the romance between the two of them are fine. But
Hmm.
a lot of it isn't that either. It's just like I- you know, this is the only series with an author note where the author note was like, "Hey, I don't know why I made this chapter. I don't really know why I did this. I don't really want to do it again." It's
Hmm.
like, okay,
Like a good job at convincing me that I didn't waste my time here, I guess.
yeah, it's just like there's so much of it that just feels like he wakes up one day and he's like, what's in my room? Oh, jeans. That's what I'm writing about. Jeans.
The fucking jeans
I'm writing
chapter.
about my
Jesus
jeans."
Christ.
Or he has like a little spinny wheel of like, I don't know what I'm doing this week, so I'm just gonna spin it up. It landed on manga teacher again. I'm
Hmm.
gonna do another chapter about her after 40 chapters.
Yeah, like
Everybody's
yeah,
fucking favorite character.
it's just bizarre. I'm not I'm kind of at the point with Witch Watch where I don't expect anything good from it anymore, which is a real shame because it was pretty cool the first time it came around. But
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
like
turned into so much nonsense.
I like its air quotes well enough. Like I don't
Mhm.
think I would drop it anytime soon because it's not painful to read or anything. It's not like Akane-banashi where I'm like, what the fuck is, and I'm trying to like piece it together. Like I get it. It's just that I don't care. It's just kind of nothing.
Mhm.
It's very, very nothing fluff, which is fine, I guess.
Mhm.
Not everything
Yeah.
has to be super deep. It's just frustrating that when it did get to that point, I was into it. And
Yeah,
now it's
right?
never going to do it again.
Yeah, just a massive shame. But what are we gonna do, right?
Yep.
We're just gonna have to keep reading Slice of Life and complain that it's not shonen,
Yep.
battle shonen.
As one does.
Yeah, I wonder what the problem might be. Mystery for the ages. Oh well,
uh,
ooga booga.
yeah, so not enough Unga Bunga out of 10.
Yeah, ooga booga. Me no likey when people talky out of 10. Ooh,
So that puts us in top 3 territory now. So the next one's going to
uh-huh.
be My Hero.
Really? We don't have Earthchild before it?
Earthchild got second this week.
All right, all right. Well, in that case, my hero it is. So if Mirko's dead, Hori is never escaping these
I
allegations, is he?
assume she's not dead because she's just like taking damage. She'll probably, and I think there's more art of Mirko fucked up and gotten the shit kicked out of her in this series than there is of regular Mirko. So
Which also doesn't do these
no, it doesn't
allegations
help.
very
No, but I assume she's
like
okay.
like oh no, we need a character to get horribly maimed. Horikoshi, what do we do? And he's like, all right, Mirko, get in the soup.
Mirko, it is. Yeah,
That's it. You're going into the soup. Also, what a gross power that Shigaraki has there.
yeah. Extra hands.
Hey, Zen, how much for you to make the description of this episode that Mirko got fingered?
Oh my god. All right, I'm doing it.
Let's go.
Unless it's gonna get us age gated.
You can just put a star where the eye is and fingered. It shouldn't register that because that's such a
Okay.
fringe thing. I mean, she did.
She did. It's true.
Yeah, what else would you call that? But yeah, no. Aside from that, this is a cool fight. I actually really like this. The way they've gotten around Decay. It's a really cool sort of moment of everyone coming together and contributing something, which is really cool. I like that a lot. And
Yeah,
I
it
also
is
like,
neat. And like the crazy floating fortress is like borderline, what the fuck, but also like cool. It's
yeah,
it's
right?
it's crazy pseudoscience like ridiculousness in a cool way.
Yeah, right? Like it's kind of very comic booky again. It's like, ah yes, we have this scientific thing that allows us to create this giant flying arena. By the way, we still haven't cured cancer for some reason. It's
Yeah.
that kind of nonsense, but I like it. It's really cool. And again, I think it's cool that everyone gets to do something. Like fucking Lunch Rush is instrumental to this plan, which is incredible.
Right,
Like
because he
the
has to
guy,
keep what's her name?
he has to keep Momo fed,
Yeah.
or like you get Nejire's lesbian girlfriend is there up with Kaminari doing the lightning powering, which is also just like wow.
Does she have lightning powers?
Well, she's there with on the generators, and it looks like she has lightning powers. We have never seen her power before.
Also,
I
is
mean,
is Kaminari just not have his drawback anymore? Is that a thing?
I think it's just that he's powering up and he's getting stupid, but him being stupid is just him being excited now.
Oh, okay.
Which I mean, I'm fine with. That gag hadn't been funny for a while.
It wasn't. It's just thoroughly established that he can't use his power for that long, so he seems like a weird choice to maintain the crucial barrier.
Well, you don't need to be smart to just throw your juice into a fucking generator, I guess.
I guess.
Um, but yeah, no, it's very cool to see all these characters come together. for like this absolutely insane plan.
I really like that Best Jeanist said there's a gap in your seams.
Yes. Also, the fucking like throne that Aizawa, Manuel, and Monomar are sitting on is so cool.
Oh
Like
yeah,
they're
over
basically
there,
on this.
like on top of the school.
Yeah, that's so. It's just such an imaginative way to do this final fight, which
It's
this
so
really has.
far in the distance. How is he only looking at Aizawa and not erasing other people accidentally?
A, he has the anime eyes, where someone can stand on top of a building and look at a single person only, and also scream so loud that everyone can hear them perfectly over like storming rain. Like
Yeah,
that's not
I
that's.
guess so. I guess so.
I I
But
don't even
also
mean
like
like the Uraraka scene, but just in general, anime does that so often.
people are gonna fight in close range. Like you'd think that that would impact them, but I guess it didn't happen in the war either. He
Yeah,
was getting erasered while Deku was punching him in the face, and it didn't seem to matter. So
yeah. Maybe he can just select someone in his vision, and it's like, okay, you're gone. Um, but yeah, no, this was really cool. I also like
So
that.
wait, question. Can
Huh?
Eraserhead not use his power anymore?
Nope, he can't use it anymore.
Because he only has one eye.
I think he said it last chapter that it's essentially made him useless because one half of his because oh god, this is one of those like big rabbit holes that the series mentions once and never explains. But like you have quirk factors, which are like the localized genetics of the body part that activates your quirk, and those need to be intact. Otherwise, you lose the quirk pretty much. Or
So
rather, you
so he needs to look with both eyes, and he only has one eye, so he can't.
yes, pretty
Okay.
much.
So we have to wait for Eri to regrow his eye.
Yes, we have for Eri to come out and have like a hero costume that she didn't tell anyone about. Also, she's like almost 10 years older and has her tits out for no reason. And she'll be like, "Oh yeah, I counter rewinded myself so that my body is strong enough to fight." And then she rewinds the entire fight, like back if anything bad happens, and then she just fucks off for no
She's
reason.
gonna rewind Shigaraki to before he got experimented on, and he's just regular Shigaraki again.
She's she's gonna touch him, and he's just gonna disappear into like a sperm cell.
He's just gonna turn into a fetus like that JoJo villain.
Yes. Speaking of, how fucking funny is it that two of the big three are here
And not
and,
Mirio. That's what
and not
Mirio's
me?
gonna do. He's gonna come through the roof of the school with Eri to regrow Eraserhead's eye once
Oh my
Monoma
god,
gets
that's
taken out.
that's almost worse than that's almost worse than him not appearing.
Yeah. Well, to be
Mirio
fair,
has,
it's not like the other two are doing anything.
true, but Mirio really has become just just a symbol of Hori fucking up. Because like he's not here after he had a triumphant return that like sacrificed his entire character arc just to have him be there and punch one Nomu. I will never get over that. That is so absurd to me. It is incredible.
It was such like a checklist thing. Like, oh, I gotta deal with Mirio before we go
Hmm.
have this war. Here he is. But why is he
Now
not
it's
here fighting right now?
yeah. What was the point? He's just gonna yeah. I mean, your idea actually makes sense. He's just gonna phase up and he's gonna throw Eri like a
Yeah,
flash
he's
grenade
gonna
at
have
him.
Eri on his shoulders. He's gonna throw her like a time grenade,
Yeah.
and she's gonna hug Eraserhead, and all of a sudden he's gonna get his leg and his eye back, and it's gonna be like, aha.
But yeah, no. Aside from that, this chapter is actually really cool. Like, I also really like how Genist is using his strands, not really even for attack, but mostly to let Mirko like jump on them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you look at the central panel on page 12, she's like jumping and running along the strands. Which, if that gets animated, that's gonna be fucking cool. If they don't make another 7 movies.
Well, Mirko's dead now, so I mean, there's that.
Well, we don't know. She's only fingered.
That's true. She's only been fingered,
Dear God, like yeah, that power is awful. Like also, if you look at the close-up shot in the final page, it's like fingers growing out of fingers.
and like with the nasty, terrible fingernails. Yeah.
Yeah. What was the talk like when All for One told him that he has this power? All right, Shigaraki, you can grow like an infinite number of fingers, but they have to grow out of other fingers you've made before. And they pack like a huge punch. And Shigaraki's like, couldn't you have stolen like a cool quirk? Like why can I not like throw fire? And he's like, no, 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 the fingers are the way.
This is so you can click as many mice keys as possible when we're trying to mine Bitcoin.
Yes, this is optimum mining. He's like, this is lame. I want to throw like lightning. Don't whine, mine.
Less wine, more mine.
Yes. um, but yeah, no, this was a good chapter. I'm
It's just
interested.
Shigaraki like, what did you use this power for? And you look over and it's all for one playing Cookie Clicker with like 1,000 fingers.
This foolish game will not
I have
test
the
me.
highest score in the world.
No, he's the second highest. The highest is All Might. Somehow.
And that's why he got the quirk, because he's so bitter about
He's like, All Might, how are you always ahead of me in Cookie Clicker? And All Might's like, I just installed an auto clicker app. And he's like,
it.
what?
What kind of quirk is that?
He's like, no, look, it's for your computer. You download it onto your hard drive. And cut to All for One just eating an SSD. It was even better because didn't the doctor say like, oh yeah, it's like software and hardware that like our quirks evolved to the point where our hardware can't cope, and All for One is like, ah yes, very interesting. Just eats a GPU. Like, what are we having for lunch? NVIDIA 3070. Only 10 in the world. At least that's what it feels like.
It's the blue eyes white dragon.
But all right, like I'm honestly already out of stuff for My Hero. Like it was a good chapter.
It's a cool action chapter. Yeah, I liked the whole like the reveal of how much work went into this floating death trap is pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. Like it really feels like as I said, like a nice way of getting everyone involved in small ways. Which is pretty cool. I like that a lot. But yeah, in that case, do we want to move on?
Yeah, we could jump into the next one, which is Earthchild.
This story keeps bamboozling me on what it's actually about.
I know. I
And it's
have
kind of
every
great.
time I think I know the premise, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, like I
Because
really
now
like
the
this.
narration at the ending implies we're gonna get a time skip.
Kind of, right?
Because it's Mamoru talking from the future.
Mm-hmm. Although he might remain the narrator for like an extended period of time, like we don't know.
Yeah. But damn, this chapter, like, dude, this series is so good. I really like it.
Yeah, right? Like the fucking scene where he's like, we will save your wife, but we can only do so. The bureaucracy will only allow us to do so if we also like say that we're training your child. Like that's really cool. I do really like that. And the fucking God, the fucking realization that they can't save her yet, and the prospect of her just being lost in space while being conscious. This series has no qualms about being harrowing, which
No,
is kind
that's
of
like that.
incredible.
For perspective, that's how they beat cars in JoJo.
Yeah, which is also like Jesus. Also, I like how last week we were talking about her humongous ass, and now it's the one thing that isn't
It's the
visible.
only thing you can't see. Yeah,
It's the
they
one thing
really are
that's
making
merged.
sure you want to get her saved out of.
Yeah, but yeah, so it seems like this is a series about like a superhuman child being like educated by his dad and the government, I guess. Like it's super interesting. Is the dad going to be the main character?
I
That
don't
would be
know. I
super
can't
cool.
tell.
Yeah.
It's so much, dude. The prospect of the fact that they go outside and take a picture together every time the debris that she's fused with orbits past their location is like my heart is bleeding.
Oh yeah, that fucking panel. He's like, one of these days will be an ordinary family of three in this photo, and it's the three of them essentially. Like, God,
Mm-hmm.
that's rough, buddy.
Yep. I'm in pain.
That's that's got my masculinity waning. That's got me sipping some soy, if you know what I mean. I love soy. It's great.
Oh god.
But yeah, no. Out of the like newcomers, this is definitely one of the strongest we've had in
Oh
ages.
yeah, maybe since Time Paradox Ghost Rider, which obviously didn't mean anything in the long run, but you know,
Yeah.
we'll see.
So you'd say that this is also better than like Phantom Seer in terms of like premise?
Yes,
Oh, bet.
I definitely would co-sign that. I think that Phantom Seer obviously peaked higher, but this is also 3 chapters in, so
Well, yes, and I think Phantom Seer just as a premise was also a bit more generic, I
yeah,
guess.
young student fights ghosts.
Mm-hmm. Whereas this is obviously a lot more.
Because I think the strength of Phantom Seer was a lot more, not so much plot necessarily, but like its stylization and like its sense of self. It was very
Mm-hmm.
cool. It was very like, even though it's a premise that had been done a million times, you can
Mm-hmm.
see a monster and be like, "That's from fucking Phantom Seer." Like
Yeah.
it had such a specific like identity in the way that it portrayed its world and its monsters and stuff. Whereas Earthchild is just like really enticing, like setup writing, like uh.
Yeah.
Also, the
Like
art's
it's
really good. It's like not a huge thing for it because it's not super focused on, but I think the art's really really good.
yeah, like it's solid. It reminds me of like yeah, I don't even know what it reminds me of like early Death Note almost with like more anime eyes in a way.
Yeah, almost like a more cartoonish version of that. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Although I like how everyone's drawn like that except the child who's just a character from Shugomaru.
Yeah, he's just oh my god, he's gonna grow up to be Shugomaru.
Oh my god, this is his origin story. Earth
the
children
one
were
the
renamed
one
into
that's
the
gonna
Tekka
save
family.
the mom is Slash Takizawa.
Oh god, yes,
They're
please.
gonna send Slash Takizawa into space and bring her down.
We have to send in the special forces and just slash Takizawa with a jetpack out of his ass. But yeah, no, this was real good. I am very, very excited to see where this goes because it's crazy. We're 3 chapters in and we still don't quite know what this is about, which also has me a little worried, right?
Yeah,
Because we
well,
were talking
because
about like,
it's one of those things where I feel like most of the time that would be a negative thing, right?
uh-huh,
Like with something like Red Hood, where I'd read it and be like, "Hey, we're so and so far in, and I still have no fucking clue what's going on." Um, but for some reason, I think it's just because like the emotional appeal that the series already has that I'm like,
mm-hmm,
I'm here for it. I need to see like more. I need more of these characters and what they're going through.
mm-hmm. Yeah, like, it's just enticing as an idea from the start, which is really, really good. So, yeah, I'm gonna give this a very excited out of 10. Get excited out of 10
Ow,
as
my
opposed to
my heart.
as opposed to got excited.
All right, then that leaves us with the perennial goat, Jujutsu Kaisen.
This was literally just flexing the chapter.
Just meathead Yuta the chapter.
Yeah. Although I will say the talk they have right at the start was actually really really cool. I really like that. This like I love it when series don't go for like the big strong emotions, but instead focus on like the vague dissatisfaction of just life.
Just like living regularly and not doing
Hmm.
anything crazy. It
Hmm.
reminds me. He reminds me a little bit of Hakari.
Yeah, doesn't he? Definitely has that energy. Um, but enough with like the highbrow shit. That panel of them like bumping backs is maybe one of the best drawings in all of Jujutsu Kaisen. The
When he
amount of
launches Yuta away.
yeah, when they're like, when they're colliding with their backs and
Mm-hmm.
they're both doing like the crazy karate poses.
Yeah,
That is maybe my favorite drawing in all of Jujutsu Kaisen now. The amount of energy it has is so incredible.
it is
Like
really good. The whole chapter I think is really good.
yeah, yeah, like the choreography and the movement, and again, there's using the environment, jumping across rooftops. This is
And like one thing
insane.
that Jujutsu Kaisen always knows how to do is just
Hmm.
like even in small moments, just absurdly like exciting. Like when the dude shoots the blast that had just vaporized the entire block that they were on, and Yuta just palms it.
Hmm.
He's like, no.
He
God, that's just
deflected
so
with his
fucking
bare
exciting.
hands, yeah.
Yeah.
And then next page, like, punches him into the ground with
And then
his
the girl
hand.
shows up, and they have like a weird three-way battle kind of going on now. Because
Mhm.
the guy just wants to fight Yuta, and she wants other things.
Mhm.
And also him like rationalizing that he doesn't need to leave Rika at the stadium because they're not going after people.
Mhm.
So I really like the visual on reverse cursed energy healing that we get in this chapter.
Oh yeah? What's that?
So on page 17, the arm
Mhm.
that caught the blast is like all burned up and fucked up looking. And then in the page where he's calling Rika, all of the burns on his arm are almost already healed.
Mhm. Yeah, no, that's really cool. Also, the way he calls Rika is interesting because in some of the like fan translations, instead of saying "give me everything," he says "all of you."
Yes,
So
which
it's
it it makes me wonder which one's kind of wrong, right?
well, I guess we'll find out next
Yeah,
week.
next week, because it's like, what does that mean? Is she like a? Because we don't really know what this Rika is yet, because it's already established the original Rika did leave,
Mhm.
and we don't know if this is like a new one that he named Rika or what the deal is. I don't know. I don't. I want to know really bad,
Mhm. Yeah,
which
it's
I guess we'll probably find out next time.
yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy that we've gone now, I don't know how many chapters with Yuta being back in the story and we still have no clue about Rika.
Yep.
It's kind of incredible to keep that because it feels like one of those things that they would immediately reveal sort of as a like hype thing, right? But no, instead it's just, oh, you're just gonna have to live with the
Yep.
secret while Yuta beats some guys to death.
Well, you'd have fucked some people up.
Hmm. In his little, hey, my movie came out victory lap.
Yeah, that's sort of what it is, isn't it?
Yeah. Also, can we talk about the spread on page 14, 15 when she catches the granite blast with like her sheet of sky and
Oh
redirects it?
yeah, it looks so good. The whole like the weird distortion inside the spin she's doing is fucking awesome.
Yeah. Also, I like that, the only speech bubble here is just shut up, dickhead.
Yeah. Which is funny extra because of the hair. I like the face he makes when she does it.
Yeah. But yeah, no, this is so cool. I cannot wait to see this animated. This is
Oh god, I
incredible.
know. The entire like Shibuya and Calling Games in the anime is gonna be insane. Absolutely fucking insane.
Oh yeah, for sure. Um Also, I like when the punk guy gets his technique redirected at him and he's like, huh, I've never been hit with my own technique before. Sure packs a wallop.
Yeah, he's
Like
like,
pats
wow,
himself
I'm
on the
awesome.
back. Wow, I'm sick.
I
Let's
fucking
go.
rule.
But yeah, no, this is so good. Like we've said this a couple of times in a row, but these Yuta chapters do not have a lot of in terms of like narrative substance or whatever. But it's just so much rawness and swag from every drawing that is being emitted.
Yep, it's like I feel like people are willing to quickly dismiss like quote unquote meathead stuff as like nothing. But being
Hmm.
able to like consistently choreograph an exciting long-term fight like this is a skill.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure. Like
Oh,
it's
actually, we
really,
get
really
even
good.
more panels of healing. We see Yuta fully basically regrow his hand.
Oh, where?
So when he catches the blast on page 9, he
Hmm.
punches him with his other hand on page
Hmm.
10, and you can't
Hmm.
really see his hand in the punch when it's happening. But if you look at page 12, that hand only has 3 fingers left, and it's like
Oh
fucking
yeah.
mangled and like covered in blood.
Uh-huh.
And then the next time we see it is on, I think when he stands back up on page 17, where it's just kind of burned.
Oh.
And then we have it on
So
the final page where it's basically fully healed.
oh, actually, then that's an interesting question. Do you think his pinky finger on the final page is it bent or is it like re-popping out of his hand?
Well, that's the other hand. That's the hand that he already that was not hurt.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, well, because
Oh yeah, yeah,
that's
no,
the
you're
hand
right.
he was punching him with. Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
I
Never
think I
mind.
think it's just meant to look like it's kind of bent toward him a little bit.
Hmm. But yeah, no, really, really cool. Excited to see what
And it's cool
is
that that's not like something that I love about Akutami is that that is not pointed out to you at any point.
Hmm.
No one's like, "Ah, oh, his hand is regrowing." It's just like it is throughout the chapter. And like the guy does mention that reverse curse technique is a problem at one point. But like,
Mhm.
Youth has been getting his shit kicked the whole time. I just assumed he'd be using it the whole time, not for
Mhm.
any specific purpose.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's fucking great. I love Jujutsu Kaisen. Jesus Christ, it's so good.
Yeah. I feel like we've said it a few times now.
I, not enough. Never enough times.
Mhm. It's just amazing. Like, I saw someone say that Jujutsu Kaisen just shits on everything else in the magazine and it's not even funny. I wouldn't use those exact words, but yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen, especially these last couple of weeks, has just been out here with the entire Akutusi in it. Just
Writing with his
his
whole Akatsuki.
putting his whole Gigusi in it. So like, yeah. Again, just not a whole lot to say besides the art was good and the fight was cool and I'm entertained.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm always worried that people then think, oh, we're just like talking. But like, this is a podcast. I cannot put my phone up against the camera and point at it like a fucking ape and go, ooh, funny, good. We punch. Because that's
It's
what I
just
want to do.
just that meme of the two people like pointing with the surprise face. It's just Yuta's picture.
Yeah, like that's just me with these chapters. Just like, look how fucking raw he is. I
Yeah, it's
cannot
like
say anything else. Because like there's depth, obviously. Like just the way sort of they try to reduce each other's curse techniques and how to deal with them is always cool. Like the way they think and they sort of eliminate possible scenarios. But that's not what I want to talk about. I want to point at Yuta and go raw swag. You know?
Oh, I wish I should have queued up the ape sound effect from the week you were out. Played it right then. Damn, I didn't have it on hand.
Oh well, next time. But all right. Do we then give Jutsu Kaisen the customary rawness and swag out of 10?
I believe we do.
All right. In that case, that's a wrap, right?
Yeah, that's a wrap, everybody. We will be doing the Patreon reader segment next week, which is going to be Fire Punch. Yeah,
Yeah.
it absolutely just demolished the rest of the poll. No one else came even remotely close. Uh,
Yep.
no last minute rescue this time, like Yozakura family did last week.
Yeah,
So we
we're
will be
gonna have
reading Fire
to.
Punch for that. So look forward to that, and we will see you
Mhm.
guys next time.
All right, fellas. See you around.